Hi there, I'm Ben and welcome to part 3 of my full platinum walkthrough for Bloodborne. So we've just finished off in old Yharnam and now we're going to go and do the rest of Cathedral Ward. Plus some side areas, some very short side areas at the end of this video. The Healing Church Workshop and Abandoned Old Workshop. So we'll do those at the end. There's a reason for that, I'll explain that in a moment. But before that we're just going to go right back to the start of the game where Yusefka's clinic is, and we're just going to go and speak to her again. Now you can send people to Odin Chapel or Yusefka's clinic, and it's kind of like refuge, and then certain characters can give you things, but there is one that we want to send called Arianna. We want to send her to the Odin Chapel, and there's another guy in a window across from her who does the opposite of what you say. So if you want to send him to Odin Chapel, you need to be able to send people to Yusefka's clinic. So that's what I did. I just went up to the door, spoke to Yusefka. She will speak to you and say if you find anyone, send them to me. So we'll do that later on. So make sure you spoke to this guy as well. If you speak to him, you can now send people to Odin Chapel. You should have done that already. The door on the right hand side is now open. We will do that at the end. There is a reason for that. It's dangerous down there, and we want as much health as possible because there's a drop we have to do, and it does take quite a bit of health off you when you do land, so you want to make sure you've got plenty of upgrades for it. So we'll do that at the end, but it is open now if you're wondering. So we're just going the opposite way now that we went. We went down to the left hand side before to go to Old Yharnam. Now we're going up this way. This is a big dude. Looks quite imposing, but they are pretty slow. You're going to see his wind up is pretty slow there, and he luckily missed because he's above me. So of course, charge R2. I do actually get a stagger there, so could do. I think you can riposte these guys. I'm not sure. I've never actually done it, to be honest. They're usually dead by now. So yeah, just stay behind them. Let their move happen. Like I said, they look more imposing than they actually are. Let their move kind of happen and then go for the attack. So up there, those stairs, we will go up there in a moment. That's what we need, the Chief Hunter emblem that we got in the last episode, the end of the last episode, that cost us 10,000. There's a gate up there, which we will go and open shortly. We're just going to come down here and grab a few things beforehand. So, trolls, they're easy to take care of. They run into you, so don't worry about that. You can just get them with, of course, a charged R2. Yeah, so the Hunter emblem, we're going to get rid of a few enemies here, so you're going to have quite a few blood echoes from just this area alone before we actually go up to the gate. So if you are short or were short, you can grab a few here and then go back and purchase it. We're just going to get the Monocular here. Not much for general use, really. It allows you to see into the distance, but I believe with certain weapons it can be used as kind of like a scope almost. It allows you to aim with it better. Not any weapons we'll be using, so you'll probably never see me use that again. So yeah, we're just going down here. You can see there's another big guy just in the distance there. Just past that big guy, there's going to be a Scurrying Beast. I'm not going to get him, but you're going to see him. You can see just there. You see him run away. So if you want to run past and get the beast first, that's up to you. I believe that one's just bloodstone shards, so it's not majorly important. We've got plenty by now. So yeah, don't worry, upgrades, we're going to have plenty for upgrades. So yeah, he's got a ball and chain this time. A bit different, but he's still slow on the wind-ups. So yeah, easy to take care of. So grab these, nice 5 here. And then just going to nip downstairs and get a Tempering Bloodstone gem if you want it for any reason. Just so, the reason I come divert off, do these side sort of sections that don't really have that much is just in case you're wondering what's down here. Just for completion's sake, I suppose. Interesting door here. This door, it kind of, if you go towards it, it will say locked, meaning you could potentially open it. But you can't. And I'll just actually show you at the top here. The Cleric Beast, the first boss we fought, is... I think I do, yeah, turn around. Jumped off the top of here. So down there is where we fought the Cleric Beast on the bridge. And that door kind of should connect. You'd think it would open, but it doesn't. So, never mind. Anyway. Now we're going to go and use the Chief Hunter emblem and open this gate up. two reasons for this. It's kind of a shortcut, and it allows for summons and Eileen to appear for her second part of her quest. You mainly would need the 10,000 to open this up, but because we've done the Bloodstarved Beast first, we can get in to this area from a different direction, where the door on the right hand side is now opened in the main Earden Chapel. That's where you would go and drop down, but we'll do that later. Yeah, we don't need to go down there, and there's an enemy down there that is very dangerous and can kind of mess up. Not mess up, no, I don't want to use mess up as a term, but it will take you to a new area that we're not ready to go to yet, the Hypergian Jail. So that'll be in episode 5, I believe. So yeah, I'll explain when we get there, but if you do get killed by it, it will take you to a new area. So you'll have to skip forward to kind of figure out where you're going and then come back to this video. Again, I'll explain when we get down there. So we're going to go down here, and there's going to be a door to the left hand side in a moment. This has got a woman in it called Arianna. You might need to speak to her a few times. Just keep speaking to her until she kind of agrees or wants to find somewhere safe to go. When she asks that, make sure you send her to Odin Chapel. It is very important. She is going to give us one of the items later on that we need for one of the endings. There's 3 of these items, 4 of them in the game. We need 3 of them. They're called Umbilical cords. We're actually going to get one in this episode as well, but 2 of them you can't miss, 2 of them you can, but you obviously have two chances of missing, 1 chance of missing, should I say. So there's 4 in total, we need 3 basically. This is the other guy, so if you speak to him eventually he will carry on. If you send him to Yusefka's clinic, he'll actually go to Earden Chapel. He does the opposite and says the opposite of what he's feeling or say whatever. So yeah, that's why I went to Yusefka's clinic, because just in case you want to send him, you would have only had the opportunity to send him to Earden Chapel, and he would have gone to Yusefka's clinic and died. And he's a nice guy, so that's the only reason we did that. Oh, he seems nice enough. If you read into the opposite of what he's saying, yeah, watch out for the guy at the back with the gun, and then you obviously got this part werewolf man thing. They're quite slow, so easy enough to deal with. There's a guy on the floor to the left here. You saw me lock onto him a moment ago, which is quite annoying here. So we'll take care of him. Then you've got the Black Church set, which you can use later on if you wish. And then take care of this one. So we're going round the back to open up the gates for the chapel. Yeah, the cathedral, should I say. Got there in the end. We're going round the back. You'll only have to go down here once. So yeah, watch out. You want to run all the way past this guy, do an elaborate jump for no reason, and then watch out. There's quite a few enemies up here, so kind of stay on the stairs. The shooter can't get you anymore, and you can take these guys out, of course, with the charged R2. Yeah, there's one of the more difficult ones as well, but you shouldn't have much of a problem. And then just watch out for this shooter. I'm stood here thinking the lamppost will save me. It would have actually hit me hadn't I moved. So I'm going to grab these things. Now there's an enemy above me. You're going to see it in a moment. Brain suckers. I hate them. I really... I think if you ask most people, they might be the enemy that's most disliked in this game. You can just kind of... We're going to try and kill it from down here. There's 2 versions of them. One with a hood on, one without. This is one without. So you can just kind of see him at the top there. Looks like a bit of like a Cthulhu kind of thing going on there. Yeah, try and kill it from down here if you can. Basically what they do, in this form, the ones without the hoods are kind of softer, they're squishier, easier to kill, whatever you want to say. Weaker is probably the right term. What they do is they chase you down and they grab you, and they will, as the name implies, suck your brain, and they take your insight away, and it doesn't come back. You can't get it back. So I think it's twice, two insights at a time. Obviously they're doing damage whilst doing this as well, and there's not much you can do. If they grab you, there's nothing you can do. You just have to accept that it's got you, and it's going to take 2 insight, and you can't get it back. There's not many in this area. We're actually going to see this normal one in a moment, and then we're going to see the hooded version later on when we drop down that door to the right hand side in the chapel. There's one of those down there as well to make it even more fun. But mainly we're going to see them in the above area of the chapel, which is a late game area. Yeah, I really don't like them. The hooded versions have magic that stun you in place as well, which makes them even worse, and they're tougher. These ones you can kind of stun. So I've just dropped down here, open this gate up. We can now have summons, and Eileen is now back at Erden Chapel. We need to speak to her and finish off her quest. Well, we're going to finish her off, literally. Here's where that brain sucker was. You can see it on the floor there. So I've killed that thing from down here, so we don't have to deal with it. And then I'm going to grab these twin bloodstone shards. That's all we're doing for now. This is we're actually going to come back through here later on to get to Forbidden Woods. So we're going to have to kill it. But just an easy way to get rid of it so you don't have to deal with it right now. Watch out for these giants. We'll come back here later on. We're just going to run back, open all the shortcuts up, and deal with Eileen and get that out of the way. So we're round the back now. Here's our summon for the boss fight. So that's now there because we've opened all the gates up. He's definitely going to help. I'm going to go up here and grab something called Numbing Mist, which is an item we do need for the boss. Or potentially, I don't actually need any in the end. But for this boss, she can heal. Numbing Mist blocks healing. So you throw a Numbing Mist at them, they can't heal anymore. I'm looking over here thinking, I'm sure there's an item down here, but it looks like a dangerous drop. No, I'll leave it. I actually do drop down there later on, so you can drop down and have a look now if you want. There is a hat down there. That's it. I do get it later on though, so if you're wondering. Yeah, so we've opened up the shortcut. We're basically at Erden Chapel again. We've come all the way around on full circle, so get rid of these two. And then you can see there we're going to pick up the wooden shield. The only shield in the game, and it is a wooden shield, and it's completely useless, so ignore it. A bit of a joke, I think, because you would usually expect to have a shield in these types of games. Right, now I'm just going to kind of stay on these stairs. You can see the left-hand side just down there, maybe. Hang on, I'm focusing. So you can see just there's a guy just down to the left. Hang on, I'm just looking for this crow as well. Just down, tucked in the corner on the left-hand side, there's a guy, a bigger enemy, with kind of carrying a sack over his shoulder. Do not go near him. So we've been down here and we grabbed an item very early on. We're outside the chapel now, and I said there's going to be a new enemy down here. Do not go down there. If that enemy kills you, you will be taken to the new area. You'll need to go to video 5 to figure out how to get to the first lamp in that area, and then come back to the chapel and continue on. We will be seeing another one of those enemies later on. So yeah, for now, just don't go down there. There's no need to. So here's Eileen again. She should be here. If you spoke to her, she needs to be here because we definitely need her. If you spoke to her in the first place, do you remember we spoke to her early on? She gave us a gesture. Speak to her again. She will give you another gesture and tell you that there's a hunter down where we fought Father Gascoigne. That's where we're going to go. So at this point here, I'm just refreshing the world. So I've come back. I'm going to level up slightly. So I'm just actually going to pop a few Coldblood dews here. Coldblood dew, that's what it's called, isn't it? And then I'm going to go back. So I'm just letting the world reset, so to speak. So Eileen will be down there. And Arianna will now be in the chapel as well. So yeah, don't worry about enemies coming back. We're not going to... None of the ones we've killed we need to interact with again anyway. So go back to Cathedral Ward once you've done that. And you'll see that Arianna's now here, sat here. She was the woman we spoke to in the window. Yeah, we need her later on. A lot later on. But for right now, if you speak to her, she'll give you the Curtsy gesture and Blood of Arianna, which works in the same way as Blood of Yosefka did. So if you receive it, she'll just give you a vial of her blood, and you can keep coming back and getting it. I don't use it ever. I just use regular blood vials. But in a pinch, if you really need to heal, then you have it on you. Yeah, so basically she has a lot later on, after we've killed most enemies in the game, most bosses should I say, she's going to actually have a baby down here where we're going into the sewers here. And we kill that baby and we'll get an umbilical cord. It's a mutant baby, don't worry, it's not a proper baby. It's a weird little mutant thing. If you kill it, you get one of the things you need for the end, one of the endings. So we need to keep her alive. So as long as she's there now, you're fine. You don't need to interact with her again. So we'll come back down to where we fought Father Gascoigne now. There's going to be a hunter here. Weirdly, I've never managed to see Eileen here first time, so I usually just let this guy kill me. Sometimes you come down here and Eileen's already fighting him, but I actually see that Eileen is going to appear. I'm looking around, so I'll let him kill me. So there she is. So the world kind of refreshes again. I don't know, whatever. I died on purpose then to try and get her to spawn in. That's kind of how it usually works for me. But maybe if you come back a lot later on, then she is there. But what we're going to do is use this hunter to kill Eileen. That was the only reason. We interacted with her very early on. If we would have taken her on at that point, she would have more than likely annihilated us. So this is the easy way to kill her. She's going to drop something called the Crow Hunter badge, which allows us to buy weapons, certain weapons. We need that for the weapon trophy. So we need her. We don't need her to stay alive. So let them fight. You can chip in if you want. The easier thing to do is to knock this guy, take a bit of damage off him. Because Eileen won't attack you once they're finished. But if you do hit into her now, she will aggro. So just be careful of that. And then stay behind these gravestones is actually a good place, because that hunter will try and hit you through the gravestones and can't, so you can just do the charge R2 through it if he's the one that survives. So let them just duel it out and then just kill the winner. It's a bit cheaty, a bit sick, I suppose, but it's just the easier way to deal with Eileen. But yeah, most importantly, we need her badge. We need that Crow Hunter badge. So you have to have spoken to her in that first video, as we did, otherwise she wouldn't have done this. So she's actually going to win this time, and it is marginal because I do a charge R2 to finish her off, and she dies. So I don't know how much health she had left, but not a lot. So whichever one wins, just kill them afterwards. If it's the guy, he will come straight after you anyway. So you're going to get a rune there. We can't equip runes yet, but we will be able to at the end of the next episode. And there, the Crow Hunter badge. That's what we're after. If Eileen dies and then the hunter kills you, don't worry, the badge will still be there. Just come back. You will have to kill the hunter. He'll be back at full health. Or you could just run and grab it and run away. It's up to you. But you want the rune as well, ideally. You will get the trophy for the rune, but that's just for finding any rune. You will find more runes later on, so don't worry if you can't get that. And yeah, that's it. That's Eileen's kind of side quest. There is more to Eileen's side mission, but all we need her for is that badge. So, as sad as it is, we've kind of got rid of her at this point. But yeah, that's that out the way now, so we don't need to worry about her being, because she is missable. Once you have the Crow Hunter badge, you don't need to worry about her anymore. So, we're going to go back up the stairs now. So these two guys, well, three guys, because there's going to be the two at the top as well, and this one are going to be back. Of course, I'm using the charge R2. We're going to make our way to the boss. Just clear out the big circle area with the two giants, get a few items there. And then, yeah, move on to Vicar Amelia, who's the first kind of boss where the world starts to change. Things start to happen once certain bosses get killed. So this doesn't go well. Yeah, these guys really are easy if you time it right and don't do that. I don't know what. Look at that state. What are you doing? Right. Start again. There we go. I don't know what I was doing, so don't ask. Maybe I rely on the charge attack too much. Later on, when we become more powerful, I do use it less because it's not as easy, not needed as much. So there's the summon. We'll be back for that later on. Don't do it yet. You want no, it's a her, to have as much health as possible for the boss. So don't summon them yet, because yeah, you don't want them to die early. Yep, two more of these. There's a bunch of these guys. There's one up at the top. You see him just drop down. He may shoot you from the top, so watch out for that. He's dropped down and started shooting, so he can't hit me. There is going to be another giant coming down the stairs, and another one of these guys. That was badly timed as well. So you can run in and take care of this guy before the giant comes down the stairs. But watch out for another guy coming down the stairs as well. There is a back way up to the boss as well. I'll show you in a second at the top of these stairs. If for any reason you die and you just need to do the run back, You don't need to fight all these again. The dog, I forgot about the dog. There's a dog off to the left as well. So I'll just quickly take care of that. So yeah, he has a scythe, a bit different. The visuals of these guys actually change the more insight you have. You're going to see them change later on in this episode, it should be. Yes. Little cosmetic changes, that's all. The lanterns they have eyes on them. It's all to do with the insight level. You see more of the world when your insight is higher. There we go, finally. Blood vials, which is nice. Probably Quicksilver. Yes, Quicksilver always is. If they've got a gun, they'll always drop Quicksilver. I think there may actually be an item to the right of me now, behind the stairs. I feel like I may have forgotten that. I don't remember picking it up. It's nothing. It's inconsequential. It's nothing major, so don't worry about that. So again, these guys are pretty easy. You can get 2 charge R2s and then get out of the way. And get ready for the final one. There we go. So a lot of this game is kind of patient. It may look like anarchy in some places. It's patience. There's always that window there. It might seem like you need to go in and attack, but there's always a window. That's what I'm doing here. I'm waiting for him to attack. I want that window, but he's not doing it, so I'll just make my own. Yeah, now he attacks, of course. That's the only problem with the charge attack, is it does leave you open for a split second, maybe half a second. You need that little bit of endurance back, to stamina back, to get out of the way, dodge, because you do obviously need it for dodging as well. So I'm just clearing up, getting Madman's knowledge here, which is obviously insight for later on if we need it. You should have more than enough insight to finish the game. Plenty. And I'm going to go up the stairs. So I'll show you to the right in a moment is kind of a shortcut back down to where the summon is. Down here. But we'll do that in a moment. Just going to clear a couple of enemies up here. These guys are pretty vicious. They're similar to the ones in the grey coats, but they have whatever that is. It's kind of the symbol upside down, isn't it? The rune symbol for Bloodborne later on. Yeah, so watch out. They hurt. You see that little bit in the middle there, that little meter that's going up? That's Frenzy. Frenzy is very bad. These guys are very... They only have a little bit of it, but it builds up even without being hit. Once you kind of hit with it, it builds up anyway. Don't worry, there's not much frenzy now, but later on there are some enemies, the lantern enemies. Oh, the god, they're bad. But we can have certain things that will help us with frenzy resistance by that point, so don't worry. So I'm just gathering these couple of items. We will actually be going down here in the next video. That's our next area. But just grab a few items while we're there. And there is an area off to the right hand side of these stairs as well. We'll be going down there later on. But for now, that's the boss door. So I'm going to go back to the summon. So down here, down these stairs. And get ready for a fight. Vicar Amelia is very easy if you know how to deal with her. I've heard people have problems with her. I think they're probably because they're taking her on her own. Then she can be a problem. But with any boss, if you know how to deal with them, that's fine. Obviously, I'm going to quit out, make a backup save. You may want to do the same as well. Mainly, you do these kind of backup saves. It's for Molotovs, it's for fire papers. You don't have to run around trying to find more of that and other items. So come back up here. Remembered that there is a church hat, messenger hat, I think it is. The little, yeah, black messenger hat. I think it's the hat. You put it on and the little messenger baby things in the bath they start wearing hats or something. I don't know. Anyway, I don't wear it. So I'm going to summon her. It's who is this one? Anyway, we'll get ready. So we don't need antidote anymore. We need... She is a beast. So again, fire is good. You want Numbing Mist in case she tries to heal. Henriette, that's it. So we've got Henriette with us. Yeah, so a beast. So fire, serrated weapon, if you have one of those, is going to be helpful. Don't feel like you need a serrated weapon. so don't worry about that. But obviously if you are using one, you're going to get that bonus damage. But fire is good enough, and just go for the legs. That's all we need to do, because it kind of stops her healing as well. She will need to heal her body parts. So I've not really mentioned this yet, but each kind of body part on enemies, on bosses, can take individual damage. It does depend on the boss as well, but with Vicar Amelia and most beasts, the legs and arms can take individual damage, and the head as well. So I'll explain that as we go. So you're going to see a cutscene. This is Amelia. You want to stay kind of to the side or behind her. So you can see she's got the legs at the back there that she's kind of sat on, and the arms. Each of those has its own kind of health bar that you can't really see. So you want to equip fire, and yeah, you're gonna, when you see a lot of blood squirt from a limb, that means it's kind of broken, damaged almost, and you will stagger them as well. You'll notice, because there'll be a noticeable change in their pattern. So I'm staying to the side and letting Henriette take kind of the brunt at the front, and then I'm to the side and I'm charge R2ing and trying to break the legs basically, because once you do that it will stun her and leave her open to a riposte, and it means she has to heal her leg before she heals her health, if that makes sense. So I'm just kind of, you can get us kind of stuck. There we go. So you see the leg just went then. It means she's open to a little stabby stab to the face there. So you can do, it's not much damage at all on her, but if you go to the head, press R1, you can get that little bit of stab. See there, she healed, that kind of scream. So it's the leg is back up, but she couldn't heal her health because she needs to do the leg first. I think that's how it works. I feel like that's how it works. If I'm able to damage her legs to the point where they kind of explode, then she never heals. So you don't actually need the Numbing Mist, but have it ready in case she does start to heal. So I'm going to just keep going for the legs. You can see she's all over the place. If you just keep going at them. Yeah, so there I think she just healed. That was the heal then. But she had a broken limb, so she wasn't able to heal her health. She had to do the limb first. So here we go. I think we're going to get another break. There we go. So she's down again. Get that last riposte in. And yeah, that's pretty much the fight. You can see she's just stunned most of this fight because I'm doing massive swings and knocking her back with that. So yeah, that's it. Gold pendant, Vicar Amelia trophy there. Gold pendants, penancy just for crushing, so you're going to get a blood gem out of it if you use it, which is what I'll do. So let's find it. It's usually at the bottom somewhere. There it is. Yeah, so get a blood gem. It's an increase against beasts, actually. It's pretty good. So if we're up against another beast boss, we can use that. It's not essential, but it can help with certain beasts. And then go and touch this skull, and that's going to kind of change the world, give you a little bit of story. And yeah, that's it for this area. But we're going to go and do the side area now. So that was actually quite short. I was going to do these in separate videos, but the side area is very short, so I thought I'd just stick it on the end here. So this here is the Eye of Blood Drunk Hunter. I was not expecting this to be here. This is how you get into the DLC. So I don't have the DLC installed, so I don't know why this is here. Must just be here in new updates or something. So yeah, grab that Eye of the Blood Drunk, whatever. It's the DLC. It's how you get into the DLC. We're not doing the DLC until we have the platinum. So grab it for now. If it's not there for you, don't worry. It's a DLC item. So you can always install later on. If you want to purchase the DLC later on, you can do that. So yeah, the item will be there at that point. But it basically appears once you beat Vicar Amelia. So I've done an upgrade or repaired or whatever I'm able to do. I think I was actually able to do an upgrade. And then, yeah, check blood gems, see if you've got anything better than what you've already got. I did not, so I've not changed anything. And then I'm going to stick a load into health. So endurance is okay for now. I'll probably get up to 2021 so we have that little bit extra. And then health and strength is what we need. So if your vitality is at 20, then you're fine to make this jump, this drop we need to do in a moment. So I was going to end the episode there, but I've decided we'll carry on, so that's what we're doing. So go back to Cathedral Ward, and now we're going to go do the side areas, the Healing Church Workshop. So you'll see this door on the right hand side I've mentioned a few times is open. That was open at the beginning of this video. So we'll go in here. Go to a secret area. So yeah, watch out for the guy on the right. So there's a chest there. You just want to run for the chest, but don't. He's there, and he'll try and cut you down. So this is where you may get your first rune if you didn't beat that other hunter with Eileen. Communion. Again, we can't do them yet. We'll get the tool we need for the runes at the end of the next episode. That's why we're going doing the witches next, or the witch. Watch out, there are shooters above, and there's a shooter to the left in here as well. So just watch out for him. I'm just trying to draw them out. There's 5 guys in this room. So 2, and then go for the shooter on the left for next. So this is a bit of a side area. There's the reason I'm coming up here now is there's another badge which allows you to buy the other weapon that I'm going to use. I've mentioned it before, the Ludwig's Holy Blade. It's arguably better than the Hunter Axe. It scales better. I haven't really gone into scaling, but weapons scale off skill and strength. The better the scaling grade of the weapon. I think the Hunter's Axe is D, so it's actually quite bad. The scaling is better on the on Ludwig's Holy Blade. Plus, it's good against certain enemies. Only in one area, really, Canehurst Castle. So yeah, and it's quicker in its single form as well. But it doesn't have the charge attack, which and the parry, the rally isn't as good on it. But yeah, if you want to start using that as your primary, then you can do. We're going to go and get it in a moment, or you'll be able to purchase it in a moment, and then you can start upgrading that. But I won't actually purchase it at the end of this episode, but it will be up for purchase by the end of this episode. So yeah, you can make the choice, play around with them, weapons. So I'm giving you the choice early on, so you can change if you want to, because I know people do prefer that as a weapon. So that's why we're coming up here. We do need to come up here later on once we have we're able to open. There's a door at the top. We can't open it yet, but later on we can, and it leads to the top of the cathedral. Not that way. There we go. 2 flame guys in here, so we want to dodge around the back of those, and a guy with a sword. And in the chest ahead of us is the Radiant Sword Hunter badge, which allows you to buy Ludwig's Holy Blade if you want. Plus, amongst other things as well, you can buy. It basically adds more weapons. We need all the Hunter badges in the game, and we will be getting them all to allow us to purchase all the weapons we need for the trophy. Lots of weapons. So there it is. So that's one of the main reasons we came up here. So this door here, we will be going through there, but a lot later on. It leads up to the top of the cathedral. Now we're going to go back down and go to a secret area. So this secret area leads to Cathedral Ward behind the gates. So you may have noticed there was an item I missed earlier on where the summon was. That's where we're going to come out, basically. So I'm just checking around the back of here, make sure there's no items. I knew there was one on the left. Couldn't remember if there was one on the right or not. So you want to make our way down. This is a full circle. I think there's nothing down around here. Just checking anyway. But I know there is a Scurrying Beast on the floor below. So we want to get that because it is going to be twin shards that one gives us. So walk around this side this time. So we're at the ground floor, so to speak, where we came in. Go around, here it is. Run after it quickly. Don't worry if it drops down, you can still get it. Just be quick and grab it. If you do miss it, you can go back to the lantern, come back, and it'll be back. You want to get it though, because it's twin shards. So yeah, full health. Heal yourself. It's a big drop. You drop all the way down there, you're going to die. So don't drop. What we're going to do is a secret area. So you can see these kind of ropes leading down here on the right hand side. You can see there's a little narrow bit of planking there. That's what we're trying to hit. So if you aim at the ropes there and do a roll towards them, you'll land on it. So yeah, you can see how much health I took then. There was a big drop, fairly big drop here as well. So you want a big health bar to make that. So that's why we're doing it a bit later. And then enter here and you get the trophy, the Source of the Dream. We will actually be going down there in a moment, so don't worry. We have missed 2 items, but one of them was Madman's Knowledge and then a hat, I think. So if you want to go back up and get them, then that's up to you, but I'm not going to. So yeah, this is Hunter's Dream. This is the Source of the Dream. So the Hunter's Dream, not Hunter's Dream, sorry. This is Abandoned Old Workshop, the Source of Hunter's Dream. So the Hunter's Dream we know is inspired by this, because we're kind of in the real world now. So yeah, grab this. This is the Old Hunter Bone. This is one of the tools we need for a trophy, so make sure to grab that. And then most importantly, grab this. Is the third umbilical cord, so one of the 3 that we need. Here's the doll, which is obviously inspired the one in the dream as well. There is a lamp here, make sure to light that. So most importantly, grab the bone and the cord. That's what we need. Small hair ornament. Grab that as well. We can give that to the doll for a gem later on. And that's it. That's all we needed from this area. But it is a secret area, and it's a pretty cool little area, to be honest. Nice little story moment, I suppose. It kind of opens up the Hunter's Dream. So we're going to go back and we're going to drop down. And you're going to see me completely mess this fight up. So it's a good job we have that lamp so close, because yeah, this doesn't go well. This enemy is... I've never had a problem with this one, but I forgot it actually has a fire attack, which is what it kills me with. So yeah, 2 charge R2s will take care of this thing. So I got kind of mixed up. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Don't ask, but yeah, I'm getting ready to kill it, and it does that, and it gets me. That's annoying. Anyway, drop down, get it again. So all I've done is I was back at the workshop, drop back down. This is how you're supposed to kill this thing. So nice and simple. There we go. Much better. Beast, you'll get that rune once you kill it. So that allows for more beasthood, I believe. It's not one we'll be using. And then this is a shortcut back through to Cathedral Ward. So there is an enemy here. You have to interact. Well, you can avoid it. You can try to avoid it. So I died down here. Full disclosure, I died down here as well. Not to the enemy that I'm going to talk about in a moment. But I did, because I got stuck in a wall and got killed. So full disclosure, I died and just dropped back down. The beast won't be there again. It's only a one-time thing. So I just dropped back down and I've started again. This guy here to the right. So there's a dog here. Make sure you get that first. And then this guy here with the sack. So these guys are tough and they hit really hard. So watch out. So you can see he doesn't take much damage. That's a charge R2. And he's going to go into kind of a rage mode. If he kills you, you will go to the Hypergian Jail. Hypergian Jail, yes. Episode 5. At the time of me saying this, it's not made yet, but it will be episode 5. So you'll need to go there. You'll need to get to the first lantern and then go back to Cathedral Ward. You're not really missing anything by doing this area. But yeah, if it kills you, you will get taken to a new area you've not been to yet. So watch out. Don't let it kill you. You can, I'm going to show you in a moment, run past it if you're not bothered about the Madman's Knowledge, which is fine. You can miss it. There is another sucker down here as well. This is not a nice area. This is why we've left it till later on. So these guys are a bit stronger than normal as well. They're the guys that got me last time. I was stuck against the wall. That's why I died. So yeah, Madman's Knowledge. And then you got the Fire Blood Gemstone, which is something I will put on my Ludwig's Holy Blade to turn it into a fire weapon, because it's going to help against certain enemies. I like to have it just as a side fire weapon. So yeah, it's you can come back here and do this later on if you're scared about that sack that sack guy, you can come back. But this is one of the hooded brain suckers. So this guy's tough. You can see how much that's an R2, that's an R2, and they kind of go through your second one sometimes like that. That's the grab. If they grab you with that, they're going to take your brain. We're going to see that because here's magic. This is why I hate them. Because, yeah, and then they open you up. Oh my god, I don't like them. You can see my insight's going to go down. My health is going to go down as well. 2 insight, most of my health. Yeah, he's going to, I think he's straight into it. So there's the grab, straight away into another one. So you can see he's going to try and do magic again. They have a projectile magic that they shoot towards you, or they have one that they kind of hit the ground and you can run into it and it gets you. Just be careful with those guys. Yeah, fire gemstone. Handy. You can't put it on this weapon, so we can't turn this weapon into a fire one, but we can with the holy blade. So I'll just show you, if you want to skip that and come back and do that later, if you're scared about that sack guy, you can just, this is where he was here, that's where he was facing away from us, so you can come up here and go to the left hand side here and avoid him for now, and then come back for that gemstone later on if you want to. Yeah, so if you're worried about missing anything, then yeah, it's just this Coldblood up at the top here, and then we'll drop down, and this is where the summon was for the fight against Vicar Amelia, and that's where we are. So that's it. As you can see now, my insight is at a certain level. Those guys have eyes on their lanterns now. Yeah, things start to change the more insight you have. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, if you do get taken to the new area, then just go to the first lantern and then come back to this one. And yeah, the next place we're going to go to is Hemwick Charnel Lane. Yes, Hemwick Charnel Lane. Yes, not yeah. That place where the witch is. It's quite an annoying place to get through, but the boss is probably the easiest in the game. So yeah, nice simple one. And at the end of that, we'll be able to start using runes, which is on this bench to the right here. So I'm actually, before I upgrade, I was going to see how much the sword is. I forgot how much it was. It's actually 20,000. So you can see we've got a few things we can buy here. Don't worry about purchase Blade of Mercy and things like that yet. But if you want to buy them, obviously that's up to you. I can't buy it yet. I will get it later on. But there it is. You're able to buy the Holy Blade now if you want. So that's up to you. And yeah, the reason I went down to see if I could buy it now is start upgrading it as well. +4 Hunter Axe now. No repairs needed. I don't think I swapped the blood gems either. Got nothing better yet. No. So we'll leave that for now. Do a bit of leveling. And that's going to be it. Maybe just one. Maybe not even one. I think I might need 7,000 at this point. So I'll just check how much we need. Oh yeah, before that, hand over the small hair ornament. And she will give you a tear stone. So crack the tear stone. You'll get the tear blood gem, which is a bit of a trick gem, I would say. It's a bit of a trap gem. I would never use it personally. It gives you 2 HP back per 3 seconds or something like that. But you need to obviously remove another gem to put it there, which is going to lower your damage output. It's a bit of a trap. It sounds great, but not so much. Maybe you could put it in a second weapon and just switch between weapons in an off time. So yeah, you can, if you're just kind of running around a bit, then you can heal that way. But yeah, it's a bit of a trap. Don't worry about it too much. Yeah, so that's what I'm just cracking gems, blood dew to make sure I've got enough. Bit more strength there. And yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. So on to Hemwick next. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.